and then 1st January. But on 1st January 2026, Ghanaians are greeted with a new tariff and our taxes. Which they will screen so I see electricity and water tariffs increase by 9.86% and 15.92% respectively, starting today, 1st January 2026. Now, NDC are buying a bus, no. They promise Ghanaians say at the end of the day, no, or mobile on Bema Guamae. But now, say within last year, no, wow, Chromas not to prepaid. I also prepaid the water bill are cost exponentially. In fact, even if you don't use it, you are being charged. Or more be on service charge, because once you sign up, they have to do maintenance. They charge you, the customer, for service. The same thing for ECG, the same thing for Ghana Water Company, and the water bills are ebano. But then we can say, according to Parliament and in the NDC government, they are saying, Ghana, we still need money, even though the almost promises on mobile on taxes a year. A 12 if you want, they can't do away with this, and they have to charge us. Now the funny thing is, the person who actually went on TV to announce this, we know already said Beba it will be effective 1st January. But Nipa Okoye to announce this was the Minister of Communication, which is Sam George. TV3 or be New Year program bia, and every New Year bia they let celebrities and politicians come in give news. And the person who actually hosted this particular program was giving the news and saying this was Sam George. There's a breaking news about Senator Rawlings.
From today, consumers across the country will be paying more for utility services as the new tariff increments officially take effect. Water will go up by 9.86%, while electricity will see an increment of 15.92%. The adjustments approved by the PURC is expected to impact households, businesses, and overall cost of living. The PURC says it's necessary to sustain service delivery, while critics argue the timing adds further pressure on already stretched consumers.
Okay, so that's what Sam George announcing this painful new tax ban. In fact, this increment in tax grant or combining is bigger than the betting tax and the e-levy combined. What we need to see, because Mahama administration air party say they need money. In fact, they were thinking say money was there, but then they came and they realized say you can so we are actually in debt, and they have a lot of obligations to do: infrastructure, pay, debts, Eurobond, so unfortunately, idea used to say and no tax now it is at the end of the day they take it and they used to pay people. Now, you better also in regards to this particular update, because Menoka say the incoming defense minister, to me, what I've heard is Senator Rawlings. Senator Rawlings didn't seem be aquacotoso, because when you say NDC for or more a year 31st December revolution, which basically was started by the founding father of NDC, Jerry John Rawlings. Now, during a year, the 44th anniversary of the commemoration of the 31st December revolution, I course were down. Senator Rawlings, in fact, said a whole lot of powerful things. I'm up with said this lady, we need to take her very serious. But regardless, in Sembe and Okaya, she's trending on social media. Let's take a listen to what Senator Rawlings said.
Neither June 4th nor 31st December happened in a vacuum. Whether or not we choose to speak about the truth of what happened, whether we choose to tell the young generation about the circumstances surrounding June 4th and 31st, whether we choose to remember or forget, does not change the fact that June 4th and 31st did not happen in a vacuum. When the 31st December revolution happened, the members of the Provisional National Defense Council were not made up of only military officers. There were civilians from across the length and breadth of this country, professors and doctors from academia, retired officers. We had members who represented the fishermen and the farmers of this country. Indeed, the 10-year history of the PNDC did not happen on the backs of military people. It was the inclusivity of every Ghanaian that made 10 years possible. And so if we stand here to commemorate the 44th anniversary of the 31st December Revolution, it is also to honor the memories of all those who laid down their lives then and subsequently to build this country. Those who helped to consolidate the foundation upon which we now have our fourth republic. As a matter of fact, had the foundation not been so strongly laid, perhaps with some of the things that happened over the years, we would not be here talking about a fourth republic. But the strength and the commitment of those who contributed to those 10 years preceding the Fourth Republic gave the resilience that we needed to survive some of the lowest points that we have endured since then. Comrades, we have a duty to put aside parochial interests and to put Ghana first. If we look at what's happening in Ghana and we look at what's happening across the sub-region, if we make a mistake of taking incumbency for granted, of exhibiting arrogance of power, we only will have ourselves to blame. No government can provide employment for every single citizen, which is why the responsibility on government is so huge to provide an enabling environment, one that is not drowning in corruption or nepotism or ethnicity or marginalization of members of this country. This country can only survive if we do it together, with dignity, with respect for one another, exhibiting those timeless principles of integrity, of transparency, of accountability, of probity. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are to leave Ghana better than we found it, we have a duty to stick to those principles. And a reset agenda means we must make sure that our moral compass is reset back to where it ought to be. The fact that the bar has been set so low does not mean we should start from ground zero. We can be better than that, and we know better than that. Let us raise the bar. Yes, it's true. Democracy has a tendency to open the door to monetization of everything. But we can be the gatekeepers as to whether that becomes the culture that drives us deeper into the abyss, or whether we will let certain values that cannot be bought be our guiding principles. So that no one, regardless of how much money they have, can derail the consolidation of the democracy of this country. The moment we start to give in is when we start to disintegrate, and it's when we start to destroy the foundation on which we have solidly been placed. There are times when I cannot believe that in my 47 years, I've actually seen this country better than it is. It means that we have to do better to ensure that no government can come in and destroy what has been built. We must be open to self-reflection and criticism so that we can correct what mistakes we are making before it's too late. There's a principle in aviation where you course correct as you are moving, because you cannot always determine the factors that will be facing you as you move forward. Our duty is to course correct. Don't wait till you get to your final destination before you realize that you are on the wrong side. The purpose of decentralization, we have our MMDCEs present here, is to make sure that the vision of the president is carried out down to the local level, to the unit committee level. And who are the members of our committees? Ghanaians of different religions, different ethnic groups, of different political leanings. Let us not be misled or tempted into...
Okay, so that was exactly what Senator Rawlings is saying. Once again, we have other news to talk about, so we'll move